There we go.
There we go. Perfect.
And now we're
Uh,
recording.
we want to record that part when we're waiting.
Yeah, oh,
We
good
have
job.
someone else in waiting room.
Nope, Juanita is in so far, and that's all I have so far.
I'll admit it.
Okay,
I see Leanne. I just
yeah,
admitted.
I admitted another person. You gave us permission, right? That's okay,
Yes.
perfect. Yes. Lynn, hello, ladies. You hidden all but behind the screen. Can you show up to say hi to us? Or are you shy?
Good
Hi,
afternoon. Good
Lynn. How are
Hi,
you?
afternoon.
Leanne.
Good
Hello.
morning.
Welcome in. Welcome in.
All
This is
right,
so
ladies,
exciting.
we about to start. We're gonna give one more minute to people who's planning to join to let them chance to join, and then we will go ahead start. Okay, Janita, or did I pronounce your name correct, Janita?
Juanita.
Yeah, yeah,
Juanita?
that's exactly right. Thank you, Juanita. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's awesome. What is it? No camera ready late at night. Oh, South Africa. Oh my God, what a dedication. What time is there right
No,
now?
not that late. It's 8 o'clock, but I've had the shower, so I don't look as pretty as I did an hour ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. And please, don't be shy. It doesn't really matter. How are you joining us? What did you wash your hair? Did you do your makeup? Join us because we're going to have a conversation. We don't want to just talk to each other, right? We're here to engage and connect with you, ladies. And I think let me get to my. Hmm. All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this You Midlife Reboot Masterclass. I am really glad that you're here, and I want again thank you for choosing to spend time with us this Sunday. We know time is precious, that's why we want to start right away. But before that, I would like to ask you, ladies, please drop in the chat how did you hear about this event? Is it Facebook event you saw it, or an Eventbrite, or at networking? Just drop here Eventbrite from Lane. Thank you, that's good feedback for us. Carrie, thank you. Gulnara shared in Eventbrite. Okay, that's what we want to know. Thank you. And three women, three coaches. Joe Peck, raise your hand, Joe, energy and financial coach. Nakia Flemings, a lifestyle and wellness coach. And myself, energized and healthy menopause coach. And we came together for this powerful conversation because so many women who are going through midlife feel tired, stretched thin, and quietly wondering what next for me. Is this is how it's going to be now? Why does everything feels so hard than used to? And it's not literally like a dramatic way, but it's steady in the background kind of way, right? And that's why we created this masterclass, Your Midlife Reboot: Health, Self-Care, and Soul Alignment. This is not about fixing you, ladies. It's about helping you to see yourself in this season of your life a little bit different. Over the next hour, you will hear from three of us, and each coming at the midlife from different angles. I will start by talking about health and body and how to rebuild the trust with your own body as we're going through midlife changes. Then Nakia Fleming will guide you through self care and daily life, how to support yourself in a way that actually fits to your real life. And we will close with the Joe Peck, who will lead us into soul alignment, helping you to reconnect with who you are actually beneath the role and expectation. You don't need to take everything is today. Just notice what speaks to you most. If one insight helps you to support your body and your life a little bit better, I believe we will agree with ladies that we done our job. You will hear from three of us today. And of course, we're gonna start with our body because that's where midlife often speaks first. Okay, drop in the comments. Are you ready? Are you ready to start? Just drop the ready. I know some people already in the bed, but I would like to see it because we want it to be interactive. Awesome. Thank you, ladies, for giving that chance. So, um, yes, what I wanna to talk about before we're gonna go any further. Let's pause for a moment, and I wanna actually you drop in the chat where's your energetic level is with this physical, emotional, spiritual from 1 to 5, right? 1, I am really running on the fumes, and 5, I feel pretty energized and aligned in my body and in my life. Drop in the chat. There is no right or wrong answers. I would like to see that. Thank you. All right, I see 3. I see, yes, 3, unfortunately 2 in the moment. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you, ladies. I believe someone else joining, right? Okay, yes. Oh, all right. Thank you. So if you, I see 2 in 3, right? Now that's a confirmation, ladies, that not only you have a, challenging time as you going through midlife, right? You already see that we're all there, and we've been all there too. So if those 2 or 3, that means you in the right place, and I am so glad that you are here. Um, so another question, but this time you don't need to put anything in the chat. And be honest to yourself. I want to ask you, how many times have you heard or maybe even said, this is normal, that I'm always tired and in the pain and the pain and aches. I guess this is the part of getting older. My body just can't do it the way it used to. We hear these things so often that they start to sound like a fact, right? So, and this is the part I wanted to gently challenge you today. Age has quietly become a diagnosis, and most of us accepting it without even questioning. So for next 10 minutes, I am not gonna talk to you about what to eat, how to move, and how to fix your health. I want to talk about what comes before all that, what you believe about your own body. Because long before energy drops in your body, it usually drops in you believe that your body is capable. And once that belief shifts, everything else changes. Energy, health, movement, it's all gonna start look different. So fun, many of you don't know who I am. I am Gulnara Skerva, and I am energized and healthy menopause coach. I help women just like you are go through menopausal changes, or let's say biochemical changes that our body experience, with ease and confidence, by having more energy and better health. And I'm gonna share why I am here in front of you, sharing that, because I went through that. I am 57, but in my 40s, oh my, I don't want to go there again. I was tired, I was exhausted, I was dealing with constant stress that actually led to aches and pain. And as a ballroom, I'm formal ballroom dance instructor. I felt that I'm older than any instructors in dance floor, which is was true. But I felt that I'm old because of my body. And I thought about, this is it. This is how we're gonna be after 40, right? This is the part of getting older. Then something happened. I'm not going to go into really details. As a runner, I just couldn't run anymore, and had a lot of pain and aches, and that led me to see specialists. And guess what? The specialists start telling me that I need to stop running, right? Just to stop running, because it was a part of the process of getting old. No, by the way, no one clearly explained me why, what actually are wrong with my body, why my knee hurts and swelling, because they didn't find anything. Just that running was bad for me, and that's all. And few years later, my mother's doctor told me that because my mother has rheumatoid arthritis, it runs in the family, and that's I'm gonna get that too. It was said very casually, like it's a fact, not as a warning, not as a something to question. And I remember feeling really upset, deeply upset, not because I was fear of what's gonna happen, but because of what that statement applied, that my future was already decided. And that is when I noticed something important. I wasn't just being given medical advices, I was being handed a story about my body and about aging. A story that said, your body is fragile now, your best year is behind, this is a norm. And I didn't want to believe that, and I still don't believe that. And not because I'm sort of in denial, no, but because something in me, I know deep down, this couldn't be the whole truth. So many women don't stop moving because their body truly can do it. They stop because they stop believing, I'm sorry, this because they believing they should stop. They stop moving, they stop dancing, they start going for classes, not after major injury, but after comments or diagnosis. A sentence like, this is just a part of getting older. We give up on our bodies far too early, to be honest. And we we call that this is realistic. As I mentioned, I am 57, and I truly want to tell you that I do have energy from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I do have a pain in aches, but those pain and aches don't stop me from doing the things I love. I move, I lift, and of course, I living my life fully, not because I'm special. No, 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 no. But because not because I'm sort of ignoring my body, but because I stopped believing that age alone gets to decide what my body can do. So we can age and still be healthy. We can have aches and pains, but still be capable. We can support our body instead of afraid of what's going to happen next. And when trust comes back, energy follows. I want to pause for a second and I want you to think quietly. What is the one thing you stopped doing or starting avoiding, not because your body truly couldn't do it, but because you believed it was bad for you? So, if you are brave enough, I would like to see the answers. Just drop in a chat. Yeah, thank you, Nakia. Without investigation or curiosity. Yeah, jogging. Uncle, thank you. Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, I was very proud of myself. And by the way, I started lift only like 6 months ago. Okay, someone already shared, yes, that jogging she stopped doing because of, I don't know, someone told you. I would love to hear your story maybe a little bit later. This is why I'm passionate talking talking about to start here. Before we talk about food, before we talk about movement, before we talk about self-care, I wanna you look to what you believe about your body, because your belief shapes your behavior and behavior shapes your health. I want to give you a simple image to take with you. Think about your body like a long-term relationship. If for years you've been told, don't trust it, be careful, it's going to break, eventually you start pulling back, right? You stop showing up fully, you stop asking for more, not because the relationship is over, but because trust slowly went down, right? Your body responds the same. When you believe it's a fragile, you move less, you try less, you expect less, and the energy fades, not because your body failed, but because it stopped being invited to explore, invited to experience something more, something different. And I want to you put you like literally one hand on your body, one or two. I put two hands. And I want you to take a slowly breath and just tell yourself, what if my body is not a problem? So when we asking these questions, we just notice it will happen some internal emotional shift. The most important things I want you to remember from this part, we give up on our body too early. And again, not because we are incapable, but because we were taught to expect less or expect declining. Age not a diagnosis. Pain and aches are not a life sentence, and exhaustion is not personal failure. Sorry. Beliefs shape how we treat our body, and how we treat our body shape our energy. I am curious, as you were listening, were you nodding head, thinking, yes, this is sound like me? If so, you don't need more motivation, to be honest. You need clarity about what actually happening to your body. That's why I have a super short, like this presentation, masterclass, 10 minutes, get your energy back. In this video, you go a little bit deeper into why so many women feel tired and in midlife, what actually changing in their body, and why pushing harder or blaming yourself never actually working. It's something you can watch anytime. I will drop a link here in a minute. And I want to leave you with this. If you came in today feeling tired, stretched thin, or quietly wondering, is this is how it's going to be now? I hope you are living with a different question. What if my body is capable for more than you've been led to believe? Midlife isn't the end of the strength. It's often the moment of you finally invited to trust your own body. So I am gonna drop. I don't want to take time from another presenter. I will drop link here, and you ladies can open up on your browser and fill it out or whatever you need to do a little bit later. Now, I am so excited to invite another presenter. But before that, I want to say, so when we're shifting our beliefs, when we stop seeing that our body is a problem, real life still has to catch up, right? Our busy schedule, responsibilities, and habits that we want to change. That is where self care becomes so, so important. Not as another to do list, but the way of living inside of your life different. And that is exactly what Nakia is going to talk about. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, ladies. And Nakia, take away.
Thank you, Galnara. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you guys are located. I just want to ask a quick question before we get started. Have you ever looked up one day and realized you've been taking care of everyone else but yourself? Drop a yes in the chat if you felt like you've been trying to do everything for everyone else, and somewhere in the process, you've become at the bottom of the list. And it isn't until you've had an injury, you've been ill, or everybody else has tended to that you finally decide to look at yourself and what you've been doing to yourself, doing for yourself. You're not alone. This isn't a place of judgment. This is just kind of a place of curiosity and the realization. A lot of times we just walk through our lives as women, we're strong, we are multitaskers, and we often just want to give to everyone else. And we just kind of sit on the back burner. And so today we're going to talk about ways to add you back into your life, add you back into your schedule. It doesn't need to look like an hour-long task every day. Sometimes it's just 15 minutes to start a new habit. That 15 minutes can turn into 45 minutes. It can turn into an hour. It can turn into an hour, afternoon of self care. Depending on the life season that you're in, whether you have littles, if you have busy teens, if you have college students that you're just kind of trying to stay connected with, everybody's seasons look different. And at some season you have 15 minutes. Some seasons you have a whole week that you can dedicate to just kind of pouring into yourself. So I'm going to leave you with some practical habits that you can start to add in. My intention of our time together is to just kind of acknowledge the roadblocks that keeps us from caring for ourselves, shift our mindset away from dreaming about being able to take care of ourselves, or change the vocabulary of when everything else is done, when this gets taken care of, when I'm on the other side of this, when I finish this class, when my child is no longer doing soccer, when I'm not traveling for work. We're going to talk about ways that you can take care of yourself, whether you have a 45-minute commute every day to work, whether you get to work from home and we don't take great lunch breaks, or whether you're an empty nester and you are just kind of standing in your living room thinking, like, what do I do with all this free time that I suddenly have? For those who don't know me, my name is Nakia. I am a lifestyle and wellness coach. I'm a registered nurse by trade, and I've been a mom and wife as long as I can remember. And I want to help women in their midlife, especially empty nesters and high achieving women, reconnect with themselves during every season of their life, whether it's a season of transition, whether it's a season that you're just starting and it's going to be long run, or whether it is just a new journey of self discovery. You find yourself again waking up, realizing, like, gosh, who am I? What do I like? Do I even like to do yoga? When's the last time I sat quietly in the room? When's the last time I took a good deep breath that wasn't revolved around me trying to not yell at somebody else, right? Um, this work means so much to me because I had the same journey. 8 years ago, I had an injury. And it made me reevaluate where my life was. It made me reevaluate what was next. What's going to happen if my circumstances change? And through that unfortunate, very fortunate injury, it really made me evaluate what was going to happen, whichever season it is, whether I have littles, because I did still have littles at the time, whether I am going to be an empty nester, whether it's just my husband and I needed a way to put joy back into my life, focus on my health and my energy, and make sure that I stood as a full, whole person away from all of my other titles of mom, wife, nurse, sister, friend. And so that's one of the reasons that I'm here today. So, because all women think that self care is selfish, share with me one of the roadblocks that keeps you from taking care of yourself. Whether it's a conversation that someone's had with you, whether it's something that's mentioned in passing, whether you don't know what that looks like. Share with me an area or a statement that has been said to you or an idea and mindset that you have that keeps you from pouring into yourself. And I'll give you guys a minute to share. And again, this is a safe space. This is a no judgment zone. I see that Gonara and Joe are in the empty nest space, and it does hit hard. Empty nesting changes so many things about your life. I think that transitioning to retirement changes what your friend group looks like. It changes what your schedule looks like. Um, a lot of people get to retirement and they don't have that same human connection, right? You don't have the same girlfriends that you had at work. Your schedule looks very different. And if you've never had this free time, you don't know what to do with yourself. Um, and the problem isn't that you don't care about yourself, it's that your life feels very full and it's full of people and responsibilities. Oh, Monica says dealing with the defiant 17-year-old. Yes, ma'am, I have some tips for you because I've been there. And so it's yes, putting loved ones first before yourself. And the old adage of you can't pour from an empty cup rings so true in this space of midlife. Like Gulnara mentioned before, your body changes in midlife. You don't have the same energy that you did when you were younger and possibly raising a young family or building a very busy career. And so your hormones change, your energy level, your desires about life looks very different. And so we really have to find ways that are going to pour back into us. I definitely want to encourage every woman that happens to be here today to make sure that you get a full physical and a full panel of what your labs look like. And if your practitioner does not want to explore and discuss what those labs look like, I would encourage you to find a naturopath, to find some answers online, to come to either Golnara's group or to my group or speaking to Joe so that you can get some answers about what's going on. Because the numbers look a certain way, you're not stuck in that. That doesn't have to be your reality. It's the reality of the numbers, but you're not bound to what society used to say look like the roadblocks. Someone posted something in the chat that I wanted to read. Leanne said she used to struggle because she felt due to life circumstances. My children had been through so much that she overcompensated. It was a hard way to give. It was hard to give myself and see the benefits. 100% Leanne, you are not alone in that. But one of the things I'm going to tell you is forgive yourself for the time that you didn't spend taking care of yourself. Change your mindset about remembering that you are worthy and deserving to have the best life possible, whatever that looks like. And even if it doesn't mean that you can spend again an hour taking care of yourself, if it's 15 minutes, these habits will build upon themselves until you are in a space and believe that you're living the life that you fully want. Um, I'm going to name a few of the roadblocks that a lot of women use, and I can attest to this. I can talk about this now, even though we only have one child at home and We have a bunch of grandchildren, but I can use all of these things as an excuse for not to take care of myself. And it isn't because I don't want to. It's part of it is I've been conditioned to feel like this. It is what society says about me spending time taking care of myself. And it's just a general belief, right? It's a mindset. So, some of the common excuses and roadblocks we have, and again, this isn't about shame, it's we don't have time. And we say that we don't have time because we put everyone else first. Feeling selfish. That's a lot of our problem. You feel like if I take this 15 minutes to take care of myself, or if I spend an hour at the gym, what am I not giving to someone else? But I have to tell you, spending an hour taking care of you gives you so much more energy and desire to take care of others if you're in that space. A lot of people say I'm too tired to start, which is why I encourage my clients and anyone that I talk to start a new 15-minute habit. You have 15 minutes to take care of yourself to start a new habit. And it takes 21 days to start that habit. And I would also encourage you to find a community or an accountability partner, put it out there to someone else and let them know, hey, I'm trying this new thing. And let them be able to come back and ask you about it. And so then you feel a sense of responsibility to someone else. We always feel a sense of responsibility to show up for our family and friends. Let's turn that responsibility internally. Um, some of us are very much in the space of, I don't even know what I need anymore. Monica said that she would like more energy. The way to get more energy is to start moving more, to start making those changes. An object in motion stays in motion, and it's really hard to get the momentum going. But 15 minutes just doesn't sound as painful as a 45-minute workout or a 45-minute walk. I would encourage you to get up if you're working from home every 15 minutes and pace around for 10 minutes. If you're on the phone or you're doom scrolling, do that while you're walking back and forth. If you, I've been gifted a wonderful thing called a walking pad, and I use it all the time. So if I'm going to doom scroll, then I'm going to walk at the same time. And then often my endorphins kick in and I want to do something else next. Um, and then another big one is I'll start when things calm down. I'll start when my family isn't in crisis. I'll start when my loved one feels better. I'll start when my child is done with this. Well, sometimes we look up and life has passed you by and you don't have time to start. Or you find another reason because life is going to keep coming at you. You find another reason to not start. So, my challenge for all the ladies here is to let me ask you if you can reflect for just a second. Which excuse or roadblock do you think you hear yourself using most right now? You don't have time. It feels selfish. You're too tired. You don't know what to do, or you'll wait until later. If you could share those in the chat with me, lack of time. It's such a big one. Anyone else? This is again a safe space, not a place of judgment or whether or not you're doing it right. But if any of these roadblocks speak to you, today we're going to change that narrative. We are going to nobody to hang out with. Okay, Sandra, I feel that. And we're going to help you to build a community when things calm down. Yeah, that is such a big one. I feel like I have children in different phases and there's always a fire to put out. And if I waited for them to all smolder, I would be very sick. Um, One of the things in my coaching program is I have a program that's called Rooted in Six. Um, Juanita says that her mom is suffering from Alzheimer's disease, so time is her excuse. Juanita, we're going to discuss some ways that we can help you with that. Maybe if we can help you with some respite, if we can help you to do some habit stacking. So while you're taking care of your mom, you can take care of you. If your mom, I'm just going to throw out some suggestions here. If your mom is someone who needs movement and likes to wander, I would encourage you to maybe look into like the ability to be able to go for a walk with her. But Juanita, we can talk on the side about different ways that we can help to support you. Yes, being a caregiver is such a taxing job. And so I think Gonara and Joe and I could help you with different ways to be able to take care of yourself as you're being a caregiver. There are lots of resources that are out there that we don't know about. We don't tap into, whether it's financial, whether it's location, or it's just you don't even know that they exist. So we can help you with that as well. Um, and so we talked about your the excuses that we run into. And it's not an excuse for Juanita. This is the season that she's in. And we're going to figure out ways to be able to support you in this season. I think that every season lends to its own troubles, and there is a way for you to be able to take care of yourself. The caregiver is often not well after caring for the sick individual. And so, what I want to see is for Juanita to be a success story of being on the other side of being the healthy caregiver to someone that she loved dearly as she is taking care of her mother. So, another reframing is self care isn't about fixing yourself, it's remembering or discovering yourself for the first time. It's not about perfection. The goal is to be able to consistently show up for yourself on a regular basis. It is little bitty things that add up to great health and joy and a fulfilled life in the midst of every season that we in. So I'm going to share with you some really practical things that you can take away. And I'm going to try and um, change my background so that you can see some of them and you can write them down. And we will send them also. We can send them to you so that you will have them. But here are these are very practical ways to take care of yourself. A 10-minute morning reset. So before you start checking your phone or you pour into someone else, if that means setting your alarm 10 minutes beforehand, really kind of taking some deep breaths, doing a stretch first thing in the morning, just kind of getting into your head before the rest of the world does is so monumental. An energy check in. Decide, what do you need today? What do I need? Do I need silence? Do I need connection? Do I need more nourishment? Do I need more movement? What's my hydration look like? Can I schedule a nap today? Another one is a small boundary check in. Being able to say no. Saying no is a superpower. It is not to hurt anyone else, but it's definitely to protect you. And so there are things that you cannot put on your plate if you're currently taking care of others and trying to take care of yourself. Body basics, like I mentioned before, the hydration, the movement, the rest. Community is very important. And scheduling some time for you. If you're a busy person who lives by a schedule like I do, put you on the schedule. If you show up to your appointments for your employer, for your physician, for your coworkers, for your family, put you on that schedule. It doesn't have to be long. It just needs to be very specific and scheduled. These may seem simple, but they're sustainable. They're sustainable habits that you can do. They don't take a lot of time, but it becomes life changing. It becomes something else um, that you can definitely build upon. There is another set, and these are the out. Can you move to the side so we can see the entire list? Yes, I'm sorry. I should have probably dropped these in the chat, and I should have practiced this before we had our video. I'm going to step out of the frame so that you guys can see some of these. And I try to post about these often. If you happen to be on social media, I try to share different tips and tricks on a regular, consistent basis. Sometimes, if you see things over and over again, it becomes kind of repetitious and you decide to put them into your life. I do have some out of the box ideas. Um, just kind of to go deeper because sometimes we're great craving more than rest. Um, you can do something that is not productive, but that is something that brings you joy that's just very busy, whether it is to do a puzzle, to pick up a new craft, to do diamond art, to do Lego building, something that is going to be specific to you, that is going to bring you joy that you don't feel bad about. It's something that you can I've done a puzzle, worked on a puzzle while my teenagers are starting their dinner, or while somebody else is reading to me. I have a 7-year-old grandson that needs to read to me. And so I read my book while he's reading to me. Write a release list. Um, what are you tired of carrying? Is there something that you're carrying in your life that is not for you to be carrying? Write that out. Change your environment, new space, new energy. If you feel like you want to start reading or create a craft corner, find a space in your home that is specific to you that you can set up and that you can go to when you're stepping away from all of your roles. Reconnect with a younger version of yourself. Like Ganara asked earlier, what is something that you stopped doing because you thought that your body stopped working? Find something that you used to love to do and start doing it again. I love the idea of possibly roller skating. I don't know if I will. I'm very clumsy, and my husband would probably put my roller skates in his car. But there's some things that I used to love to do that I've reconnected with. Again, puzzles, coloring. I love to color. That's something that I can do and other people can join in. It's been something that I do with my granddaughters, and we just kind of talk about what's going on in fourth grade. There's a lot of tea that happens in fourth grade, by the way. And so we're coloring. I'm getting an endorphin and serotonin release and connecting with my family. So that's a habit stack that I get to do. And then practice sacred rest. You don't have to earn a nap. That isn't, I don't have to do all the laundry to be able to sit here and doze for 15 minutes. I don't have to have made dinner in order to be able to sit in silence. It's it's your right to be able to take care of yourself. Here's another question for you. Out of everything that I've talked about, what's one small act of self-care that you could realistically commit to next week? That you would consistently try once or over a 7-day period. I would love for you to drop those in the chat. And I would love the ability for us to be able to talk about what these are, for you to share with me what you tried. And like Gonara said, you will receive these in a replay and in an email, and I'll drop a cute little graphic of these for you to try. But are there any new self-care things that you guys think that you could implement into your schedule over the next 7 days? Oh, journal daily. Yes, Leanne. That's one of my keys. Joe said she's committed to 5 minutes of meditation. Love it. I'm going to read some of these. So if you ladies aren't seeing the chat, just in case. Um, Journaling, Leanne said, I love to journal. It's my favorite thing to do. Joe said that she's committed to 5 minutes a day of meditation because it sounds doable. 100%. Because I don't know that I could meditate for 15 minutes. I'd have to build up to that habit. Morning reset and small boundaries for Monica. Dedicating a daily quiet time at 2 to 3. Good job, Gonara. I love that you've scheduled it. And that's the best way to set it. You've decided what it is, and then you've made a very tangible time for it. Juanita says she's going to do a 10-minute reset. It's a good idea to take 10 minutes before the daily chaos. 100%. Leanne said dance and laugh. I want to dance and laugh with you, Leanne. Yes, that is such a good one too. That's a good break when you're sitting at the computer and then you go and have a really great dance break. That's pretty awesome. Um, Yes, Carrie says that she's going to schedule a time just for her. Yes, please. And do whatever you want. I have a client that I just graduated, and her job, and we built up to this, was 60 minutes of doing nothing. And it took her a couple of weeks to get to 60 minutes of doing nothing without feeling guilty. And she loved it. And now it is such a habit, but she feels this sense of peace that comes over her. And it's like her reboot to get done with the rest of the day. Like she doesn't need to apologize to anybody. She's not scrolling. She's just doing whatever. And now she's found a bunch of things to do in that 60 minutes. Deep breathing, some yoga, connecting with other friends. So I'm going to leave you with this. In my Rooted to Six program, this is my shameless plug, but I fully feel like every area of your life should be incorporated in your schedule. And there are six key areas of life that I talk about in my coaching, and it is your faith, whatever that looks like for you, your family, your finances, your fitness, your future, and your friendships. And these are all the things that make us fully engulfed, and they are what create harmony in life. Balance is often unachievable, right? So there's always going to be a part of your life that's going to get a little bit more of you than the other. There's a time that your finances are going to be your focus, your business is going to be your focus, your family is going to be your focus. But while you're focusing on the target, let's not forget the other areas in your life that you need to kind of keep you whole. And so, what building these small habits does is it brings them all together so that when you're no longer caring for littles or caring for a sick adult or nursing an injury, the rest of your life hasn't fallen apart and you still have the other things. We all need community. We're not supposed to do this alone. And so the reason that we talk about these areas, it's a way to just kind of keep the harmony because every season of your life deserves your full presence. And so I would like the one thing I want you to walk away with from this segment is your life does not have to look the same just because it always has. And midlife is a powerful invitation to choose differently, to choose yourself, to be curious about what's next and what can be added in this current season, right? If you're feeling that you want more support, personalized and self care, because it is very personal, I love to guide you deeper. I offer a free 30-minute seasonal life audit, and I would love to talk to you about where you are, what you would like to do, and give you some tangible ways that are specific to you that to help you to move forward. Now that we've looked at your day to day life and what drains and restores your energy, let's shift to something even more powerful. How about how you're actually wired on a soul level? So, we're going to transition to Joe, who's going to talk to you about your energetic design. I thank you all for being here. I hope that you will walk away with something tangible. And I hope that you feel seen and that we can start to build a community of support. Whether you connect with one of us ladies or all three, we would love to have you in our communities and just to kind of continue to build generational health.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Wow, that's been powerful so far. Both Gulnara and Nakia just hit it out of the park. I resonated with literally everything you guys talked about because I have been there too. So, hi, everyone. I'm Joe Peck. I'm an energy coach and a financial alignment coach, and I help people to reduce stress by supporting their whole system, emotionally, mentally, and financially. And I use energetic modalities like human design, gene keys, and astrology to show you how your natural energy is meant to flow so that you can recognize when you are out of alignment. I also will share tools and opportunities to support people in easing money-related stress by helping them to create clearer commerce systems around their finances so that money becomes one less thing that you have to worry about. Because one thing I have found in my practice is that pretty much 90% of people worry about money. And so let's face it, very likely all of us have felt the stress of everyday life, work, relationships, money. And so I want to show you a new way to look at life. Stress isn't meant to be bad, it's meant to be a message. So before we dive into soul alignment and human design, I want to ask you something, and I want you to be really, really honest with yourself, even if it's just for a moment. How many of you feel like you've been doing all the right things and yet something still feels off? And feel free to put it in the chat. I would love to hear. Yeah, Nakia, Monica. Yeah, it happens to all of us. And that off feeling doesn't just live in our thoughts, it often lives in our bodies, our emotions, and in the constant mental load in your mind that you're carrying around. And so maybe on paper, your life looks good. Career, family, responsibilities, that all looks great on the outside. But inside, maybe you feel pressure or guilt or confusion around what you really want. Or maybe it's a deep exhaustion that never quite goes away. If that's you, you are not alone. Midlife has a way of bringing all of this to the surface. Our bodies change, our roles change, our responsibilities shift, and underneath all of that, something deeper is happening. Your whole system is asking for support. Your soul is asking to be seen. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Not how to fix yourself, not how to push harder, but how to start listening to your own energy instead of fighting against it. Understanding that your energy is going to help you to see where you may have taken on conditioning that isn't even yours, and how to start making decisions that actually honor you. And that includes gently reducing practical pressures like money that keep the nervous system on edge. So I've done this work in my own life through burnout, grief, identity shifts, and money stress. And I've also walked many others through it too. And that's how I know that you are not broken, you are not behind, you're simply out of alignment with who you really are. And that's not our fault. That's kind of how we're taught. So my intention today is very simple. It's to offer you a new way of looking at your life so that the patterns that you've been judging in yourself finally start to make sense. So let me just explain. When I talk about soul level alignment, what I mean is living and making decisions from your natural energy instead of from old programming and expectations. When we don't make decisions from an aligned place, that's when stress builds. And it's not because we're failing, it's because we're living out of alignment with how we were designed to function. And like I said, that's not our fault. Most of us never even knew there was a way in which we should be responding to life. And human design is one of the tools that I use to show your natural energy pathway to support you through this, because we all have a unique energetic blueprint and no two people are the same, although we all have access to the energy. So it's in how we receive it and how we respond to it. And that's why everybody is different. You can look at this as this is like a map of your energy. It shows you how you naturally make decisions. It shows where your energy is consistent. It shows where you take in energy and stress from other people and amplify that. And it shows us where some of our deepest wounds and gifts live. This isn't about putting you in a box. It's about giving you a language to what your body has been communicating for years. When we understand our energy, we stop fighting ourselves and we start coming home to ourselves. So I just want to share my screen because I think it's easier when we get into human design for you to be able to see what I'm talking about. So let me find my share app.
While Joe finding her share screen, how's everybody doing? Are we good? We're not falling asleep over there? Are we in? Just drop here. I am in. I'm still here.
Right. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I want to make this real, and I want you to really take the time to hear what I'm saying. So if you could just put distractions away for just a little bit, I won't be that long, I promise, 10 minutes. And if you don't already have your human design chart, you can go to www.geneticmatrix.com and you can get your own chart right now. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can see what that will look like when you go to geneticmatrix.com. What you need is your birth information. You need the month, day, and year that you were born. You need the time that you were born, and you need the location that you were born. And all of this is very important. So if you don't know the time or the location, it does make a very big difference. You'd have to check every 2 hours and see what changes. But if you know your birth time, you can certainly run one now. And what I want to do is I want to walk through a few different scenarios just so that you can notice when something lands and you think, wow, that's me. And if you feel comfortable, I would love it if you would raise your hand or drop a yes in the chat. And I'll go through each of the scenarios so that you can see if you relate. Oh, just to go back to that, the chart on the right-hand side, that's what your chart is going to look like. And if you look just below where all the black blob is, that's where it's going to tell you your energy type. We are going to need that for one section. And then the chart will support you for the rest of it. And I'll go through that as we go forward. So how many of you have always felt like the one holding everything together? We've already kind of talked about this. Even when no one asks us to, sometimes we feel like we have to hold everything together. If that's you, I'd love to hear in the chat. Yeah. Okay, great. That's because you very likely have open energy centers within your human design. And wherever you have an open energy center, you take energy in and you amplify that. So this is where you learned to manage other people's needs just to feel safe or loved in your own body. And that over responsibility is not a flaw, it's conditioning. This is the stress that shows up through responsibility. And midlife is often when your system finally says, I can't carry this anymore. And usually it's not you that needs to change, it's the pattern. So if you look at the chart here on the screen, you'll notice that all of those shapes are white. That means that they're open. Now, this is just a blank picture of what a human design chart looks like before you start putting anything in there. But everybody's chart is going to look a little bit different, and everybody's chart is going to have different things that are highlighted with different colors and black and red lines. Anywhere where you notice it's white, where there is no color in this graph, that's where you are prone to taking in energy from other people and amplifying that. That's why if you've ever worked with like a Debbie Downer, you notice by the end of the day, you're usually in a bad mood too. The next one is who here has been told that they're too sensitive? This is me 100% through and through. And there's a few different places. Well, there's more than a few. There's a bunch of different places in the chart that this can live. But if your emotional solar plexus is open, you don't just feel emotions, you're going to amplify them. That's this triangle on the right-hand side with the blue arrow that's pointing to it. That's your emotional solar plexus. If that is white, then you are definitely taking in energy from the people around you, emotional energy, and amplifying that. And what you'll notice is as you get away from them, that energy will dissipate. Your emotions will change. But because of how this makes you feel, over time, what can happen is that you can avoid conflict. You can be one of those people who avoids conflict. You might be somebody who manages everybody else's feelings and then wonder why things feel so overwhelming for you. From an energetic lens, nothing is wrong with you. This is just stress showing up emotionally. And human design gives you the permission to say, this isn't all mine to carry. Who here struggles from overthinking or needing certainty before making a decision? You can put that in the chat too. Yeah. Monica, I'm the one everybody depends on. Yes, that's me. I'm exhausted. Me. Yes. So when we struggle with overthinking and needing certainty before we make a decision, it often comes from the two centers at the top of the body graph, your head and your ajna centers. When those are open, you are not meant to have fixed certainty. You're perceptive, flexible, and intuitive when you have those centers open. And if you're trying to force something, you're taking away that natural energy that's supporting you. But what happens is the world kind of rewards certainty, so you start doubting yourself. And then that shows up as stress in a mental capacity, right? The pattern isn't the problem, it's the misalignment that is. Now, the two top centers of your body graph, this is an actual body graph. The two top centers in this one are white. So this is somebody who takes in energy, that mental energy, amplifies it, and puts it back out in an even stronger way. So these are the two centers, these top two ones that you want to look at for that. If you've been feeling frustrated, bitter, angry, or disappointed, those are not random moods. And each energy type has a way in which they communicate with you. In human design, these are signals. And your energy isn't punishing you, it's communicating with you, it's talking. And this can be stress showing up as either misalignment or alignment. So you'll notice on this screen, I have for each of the energy types, which, as I mentioned earlier, underneath the black blob, like about a third of the way down, you'll see your energy type. Each of the energy types has a way in which they will respond when they're out of alignment, and they have a way in which they'll feel when they're in alignment. So each of these has sort of a positive and a negative, and that's how each energy type presents so that you know when you're out of alignment and when you're in alignment. So a manifestor they feel anger when they're out of alignment, but when they're in alignment, they feel peace. The generator feels frustration, and when they're in alignment, they feel satisfaction. The manifesting generator is kind of a combination of the generator and the manifestor. So they might feel anger and frustration, and they may feel peace and satisfaction. The projector feels bitter, and then when they're in alignment, they feel like they've reached success. And then the reflector is going to feel disappointed, and then they will feel surprised when they're in alignment. And so that's good because it gives us a framework to pay attention to practice that awareness with. And when we read those signals as guidance instead of failure, everything starts to soften. So let's just take a breath together. Your body is changing. Your roles are changing. Your energy is changing. And none of that means that you're broken. It means that you're becoming. Soul level alignment is simply the process of supporting your whole system, body, mind, and soul, so that life stops feeling like a constant push. Your stress isn't trying to make you miserable. It's trying to guide you home. So if I shared anything today that made you think, oh, wow, that's me, I would love to invite you to book a free 30-minute soul alignment and energy insight session with me. In that conversation, we'll gently explore where you may be carrying more than you need to, where conditioning may be creating stress, and one or two alignment shifts that could make you feel a little bit lighter and a little bit clearer. It's calm, it's grounding, and most people leave noticeably more supported, even just from that one conversation. it's guiding you more towards what your energy says for you. We'll look at your human design. We'll see, what does your human design say about you? Where are you open to be conditioned? And if that feels like relief, I'll share the booking link in the chat. So it's no stress, it's just support. I'm going to just drop that in the chat for you. And then I want to share one more way that you can stay supported completely free. I do host a Facebook group called Finding Your True Self, where I offer ongoing guidance around stress relief, nervous system awareness, and alignment, including how emotional alignment and even money stress show up in our lives. It's a gentle and supportive space that keeps this kind of a conversation going. You can ask questions there, you can reconnect with yourself at your own pace. And if that feels supportive for you where you are right now, I'd love to welcome you there. I can share the link for that with you as well. And you're welcome to join whenever that feels right for you. I'm going to drop that in the chat for you. And then I'm going to stop sharing here. Okay. So now that you've had a chance to look at midlife from these three angles, your self-care, your soul, your health, I want to just pause here for a moment and talk about awareness, because awareness is really powerful, but awareness alone can sometimes leave a feeling of a little nervousness or unsure of what comes next. So rather than asking you to fix everything or making any big changes today, I just want to offer you to follow one of the supportive steps that one of us or all of us have shared here today. Try one of them, try a bunch of them, and see if they support you. Take advantage of our free calls, our Gulnara's free video, and use this as a way to get back in touch with yourself. I want to just open the space for any questions or reflections or anything that maybe has been stirring as you've listened today. And just remember that there is no right or wrong question here. Your words don't have to be perfectly formed. This is a safe space. And sometimes when we name what resonated or what surprised you or even what maybe felt uncomfortable, sometimes that's where the clarity comes in. Sometimes, and in human design, you learn that some of our energy types need to talk things out. So if something came up for you today, I invite you to share either out loud or in the chat, and then we can explore it together. And if nothing has come up yet, that's okay too. Sometimes the most meaningful shifts happen after we leave the room, but I'd like to just kind of open it up for discussion.
Yes, ladies, you are free to unmute yourself and share something. Let's do that. That's why we're here, right? Let's connect.
So Monica asked how, I assume that you're talking to me, Monica. How is your service different from Reiki? This is a map of your energy. So it's not about, it is the energy alignment, but it's more of from the perspective of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. It's more internally, as opposed to usually in Reiki, you're working outside the body and going within. This is coming from inside the body and going out. It's about understanding what that energy means for you. Does that answer your question? Yes, it's very deep. It's very deep, but it's very fun. You learn a lot about yourself.
Yes, that answers my question. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here.
I'm really looking forward to my connection call with Joe. I think I put it off as usual because I had a lot of things on my plate for the beginning of the year, but I was waiting also for us to get to the other side of this masterclass so that I can really kind of dive in myself once she gives me the information. And I have to say that Gonara's question about what we used to do that we stopped doing has really made me, it's been on my radar. There's a lot of things I do for movement, but I'm really thinking of what did I used to do that I don't do anymore and what can I add in? So I thank you both for your information today.
This has been really fun. And one
Yes.
of the things I will tell you about human design is that, yes, it goes deep, but it helps you to understand yourself on a level that you didn't even know was, or at least I didn't know was possible. It's where things that have happened in your life start to make sense because you start to realize that that's part of the journey that you're on. It's part of the lessons that you're here to learn. And those things that keep repeating in your life, those are because we haven't mastered the lesson. And human design maps out the lesson to show you exactly what that is, which is why I love that because each time we meet, it's individual, it's personal, it's all about your energy and how you interact with that. So it's very personal, it's very deep. It's for me, it's very satisfying.
I just like to say thank you. This has been really special and a reminder that actually we can embrace this midlife time and actually use it as a place to come from being really empowered and kind of living how we want to. So I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you because it really was a privilege. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for being here, and that means a lot. It really does.
Thank you for being here. Can anyone share an aha moment that you've had from talking to the three of us? If there's something that really jumped out at you, like, okay, I feel seen. If anybody, you can put it in the chat or come off mute and share with us.
Yeah, it could be even just one word. Could be just one word. It's whatever is it's whatever comes to your mind, to your heart. And thank you, Lynn, for your feedback because we were very excited. While you're thinking on the answers, I'm going to tell you how we decided to do this workshop. We first time met on a networking meeting, just three of us, and we were sharing what we're doing. You wouldn't believe, like room, like a turn, and we're like, oh my God, we all need to do workshop together. First time we met, we decided that. And amazing things, I wanna, by the way, say both of you, thank you, Nikki and Joe. We followed through. We not just thought that we're gonna do it. We actually did it.
Well, and I'd
Got
like
out of
to
the
add
group
to
chat.
that, that not only did we do it, but it came together so smoothly and so easy. It was like it was meant to flow like this. So we hope that we're going to be able to do this again. So,
Yes.
and as we do it more and more and tweak it, we can
Yeah.
streamline it a little bit. This is our first time, I think, for the first time, I think it came out fantastic.
Yeah, Carrie saying thank you. Thank you for this. I appreciate the time you took to prepare and organize this. I definitely learned something and reconnect with the ideas that I was aware of and had not thought about while. And Monica said, all you ladies were powerful. Thank you. Thank you so much. There is question from Monica. Yes.
Hi, yes, I just wanted to come off mute and say yes, all you ladies were powerful from the beginning to the end. As I mentioned earlier, like I'm in a season where I just feel so exhausted physically. I think I'm in perimenopause. So I definitely enjoyed the discussion about changing my mindset with my body and moving my body. That was powerful. The self-love was powerful because I'm also in a season of exploring self-love and energy. This was right on time for me. And I love how Nakia, you talked about self-love and you made it in small increments, like for busy lives, just little small steps. That was powerful. Joe, I loved yours. I've done Reiki, but I'm definitely interested in looking internally because I'm all about energy and I'm exhausted. I am literally exhausted mentally, physically, soul, in every aspect. So this was definitely, it was very powerful. And I will be booking with each of you ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you
You're
for being
welcome.
here.
Yes. Thank you so much.
And if
Absolutely.
you
Thank
ladies
you.
have
Yes.
a topic or a subject that you would like for us to do a workshop on, or you think is important to your group of people or your season of life, please let us know. We are happy to explore some other areas still based in our service area of expertise. But we would love to reach and talk to as many women about going through midlife as possible. And so we're trying to do this again later this year, and we're happy to talk about another topic as well. So please share your feedback. Gonara will send out a survey in a subsequent email that is different from our replay, and we would appreciate all of your feedback so we can make this powerful for everyone that we can touch.
Thank you. There is Janita said, or maybe again I'm mispronouncing, what I appreciate that it was holistic view and approach of this workshop. Absolutely. And Sandra saying, I am grateful for this time. There were so many things that you brought back to my memory about what I used to do. When I get well this time, I'm going to infuse some of your ideas. You were great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I believe we can conclude right this conversation, ladies, from bottom of my heart, and I believe the ladies connected. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for actually engaging, sharing you, and you're gonna hear from us again because we're definitely gonna send email with the replay and handouts that both lady has. They might be I'm gonna send this shortly, probably not today. I'm gonna take Sunday rest of Sunday
Yes.
up, but you're gonna see it on Monday. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, ladies, again so much.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Monica.
Bye bye.
Julie,